Welcome back to the chapter 9 Strategies for Enhancement in Food Production. In the previous video, we discussed about steps involved in plant breeding, whereas today in this lecture 7, let's try to discuss green revolution, high yielding varieties of wheat and rice. Students, as we all know, India is mainly based on agriculture. India is said to be agriculture based country. Agriculture accounts for nearly 33% of GDP. India has an agriculture based economy. Most of the population in our country is dependent on agriculture. So, agriculture is said to employ more than 60% of the total population, thereby solves unemployment problem to some extent. And also is responsible for accounts for 33% of India's gross domestic product. Now the question is, what is gross domestic product, which can be abbreviated as GDP. GDP represents the total value of all goods and services produced in our country. So, after independence, the most important challenge what we faced was improving the agriculture. Today, we have done improvement to such extent that agriculture is said to be prime indicator of country's economy. Let's try to understand how agriculture became one of the major occupation and source of income in India. After the independence and also in the post-independence period, the most important challenge which we faced was supply of enough food to the growing population. Population was increasing in the alarming rate, and at the same time we had a very limited suitable agricultural land. In spite of all these challenges, we have achieved in agriculture a great things by accepting the different improved varieties of the plants. So we have produced improved high yielding varieties of the plants like rice and wheat, which are said to be the main staple food of our country. From 1960 to 1970, there was a tremendous increment or improvement in the field of agriculture which helped farming community. So, between the 1960-1970, India witnessed a rapid increase in the production of agricultural products through the introduction of high yielding varieties like wheat, rice, millets, etc. Increased irrigation facilities, application of fertilizers, pesticides, multiple cropping, better agricultural management, and various plant breeding techniques led to the drastic increase in the food production, which is said to be a record in the agricultural field. And this record with which we have achieved this drastical change can be regarded as a green revolution, and that is due to the improvement of rice and wheat. The credit of this green revolution directly goes to a person called as Norman E. Borlaug. Prior to that, let us try to understand what are the basic elements in the green revolution. How are we able to achieve this green revolution? The first element is expansion of usable farmland. So, whichever farmland was considered as a barren, which was with the only grass growth, such land we converted into the agricultural farmland. So area of a land under cultivation was increased. That was the first element. The second element is we started growing two crops in one season. So cultivation of double crops in the same farmland per year, two plants we started growing. That's the second element. Third element is we started using required quantity of the fertilizer, which increased yield and productivity of the plants. The fourth element, we accepted with a free mined, that is genetically improved varieties of the plants for cultivation. New strains of the wheat and rice were developed. The credit of Green Revolution directly goes to the development of wheat and rice during the period of 1960 to 2000. In wheat production, if we take during the period from 1960 to 2000, wheat production has increased from 11 million tons to 75 million tons. And also with respect to rice also, we have had drastical change. The yield has increased from 35 million ton to 89.5 million ton due to the development of improved semi-dwarf varieties of both wheat and rice. The credit of development of wheat and rice or credit for Green Revolution goes to a Nobel laureate by name Dr. Norman E. Borlaug, who is regarded as father of worldwide Green Revolution. So he, in the International Center of Wheat and Maize Improvement at Mexico, developed semi-dwarf varieties of wheat and also the rice. Semi-dwarf varieties of wheat which are developed in the 1963 are Kalyana Sona and Sonalika, which are said to be high yielding, disease resistant and a semi-dwarf variety with a more tillering capacity. With respect to rice, also we have developed a semi-dwarf variety by name IR8, which is said to be a rice developed in International Rice Research Institute IRRI, which is situated in the Philippines. This is a picture of IRRI, that is the International Rice Research Institute. It is a native of Tai Chung, which is from Taiwan. This IR8 was introduced in India in the year 1966. This rice IR8 which was developed was a semi-dwarf variety and better yielding. In addition to this, we have produced still more varieties of the rice which are again with the same character like semi-dwarf and better yielding. In that, for the first one is called Jaya and the second one is called as Ratna. By the development of all these type of better yielding varieties of the plants, we could achieve Green Revolution. So these varieties are developed in Indian derivatives. We have produced in wheat living Kalyana Sona and Sonalika. Still more varieties of wheat are produced and they are Sonora 64, Sharbati Sonora, Safed Larma and Larma Rojo. Whereas in the rice variety living IR8, Jaya and Ratna, we have produced Vijaya, Padma, Kanti and Jayanti. So with the help of these varieties of wheat and rice, we could achieve Green Revolution. So in this video, we discussed about Green Revolution and high yielding crop varieties of wheat and rice. Whereas in the next video, we will discuss high yielding crop varieties of sugarcane and millets. Hope you understood the content of this video, students. Thank you.